It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso live on SABC3. It's a beautiful Friday. It's a Friday. It's Valentine's. We can feel the love over here in studio, and hopefully you're feeling it at home too. Now, you know what time of the year it is. Around this time, South Africa, the television and film industry, we all come together to celebrate and reward excellence in these fields, ranging from the performers we see on our screens to all the technical people who work really hard to bring the best of South African television content to you. And the SAFTAs are on. We're crossing over there now where Katleho is on standby.
Well, a very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us for this live broadcast where the Mall of Africa right now is a hive of excitement and activity, and so it should be as we speak about the annual celebration and reward of the Golden Horn, which is coming to us on the 27th and the 28th of March from Johannesburg. Of course, I'm talking about the 14th annual South African Film and Television Awards. Now, the process that takes place independently of the National Film and Video Foundation sees over 200 judges who have the incredible task of not just reviewing but debating and choosing the ultimate winners. And we're joined this morning by NFBF's CEO, Makhosazana Khanyile, as well as the overall judging chairperson of the SAFTAs Judging Committee, Dr. Janet van Eerden, to give us a bit more on this process and, of course, to give us a bit of excitement about the upcoming awards ceremony that we are all sitting and quite tightly in anticipation for. Ladies, a very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us. How are the nerves ahead of not just the big ceremony coming up on the 27th and 28th, but today as well? Because today is a very, very big day.
Today is very big, right? And I think it's a culmination of a process that has been, I think, amazing, that has gone really very well. Thanks in part to Dr. Janet and the overall team that has worked so hard behind the scenes, watching hours of footage, and coming to this decision that we'll be announcing today. So it's quite exciting, but also nerve-wracking.
How about you, Dr. Janet? How are the nerves for this morning? How are you feeling? I see you taking a couple of deep breaths already.
Yes, I'm not used to being on television like you are. But it's been an incredible process, and I'm a co-chair with Bongiwe Salani, who's been wonderful. And we're both chairpersons of a judging panel of over 205 judges. And there were 83 categories, and it was an enormous amount of work. And I think what is most amazing is the people on the ground from the NFBF who've been running off their feet to organize such a logistical nightmare. But we've worked hard. We've tried to solve all the problems along the way. It's been very hard. Some people got very upset.
Of course.
But today is the beginning of the fruits of the labor.
Absolutely. Now, of course, I think the overall view of the South African Film and Television Awards is to help South Africans to really recognize the talent that is within our borders, and just how magnificent it really is and how it does really measure up to international standards. But let's talk about why it's so important for South Africans to really plug into the South African film and television industry.
I mean, I think if you see the power of arts, right? It's a creative art form. It is about telling authentic stories, and we have such amazing quintessentially South African stories that are important to tell. And I think if you look at the world over and how localization has made it important for people to tell their own stories in their own words, it's important for our audiences and South Africans to buy into the industry, to buy into the craft, to realize that it's not just about the glitz and the glamour of it all, that it's actually a business, you know. So we encourage South Africans to seek local content, to go and support South African movies when they are on cinemas, because it has a ripple effect, right? The same way that SAFTAs does. I mean, if you look at how the Oscars, for instance, will change the trajectory of your career just by being nominated. Absolutely. It has a ripple effect to the industry as a whole, because then all of a sudden, you know, you no longer have to audition, for instance, because, you know, you have the nominated for in front of your name, you know, and it comes with SAFTA winning, and it comes with a lot of gravitas, you know, and I think it does absolutely pave the way for young stars and even seasoned actors and actresses to just put a stamp on their careers, to say, you know, I'm recognized by my peers that have done great, you know, work. And I think the Golden Horn is a representation of being able to dream of stories coming to life and of connecting with audiences, because it's the audiences that sit on their couches night in and night out, falling in love with these characters. So tweeting about them, no less. Tweeting about them, being upset with them, and know. So I think arts is one of those, things that we need to protect as a nation, and South African audiences, I think, are very supportive of local content. Our broadcasters, I think, do an amazing job of enabling these women and men to hone their crafts and bring us entertainment.
Yeah. Let me bring it to you, Dr. Janet, very quickly, talking about the fact that I think most of us in the industry that work in it know that it's a relentless pursuit, it's a labor of love, and yet these recognitions stand head and shoulders as one of the most important events that can happen. Why is it so important that we give recognitions to those directors, the actors, the craft people, everyone involved in the process of producing South African entertainment in all its forms?
And I think, Katlego, as of course designer said, the most important thing that we are doing by celebrating local talent is encouraging representation of South African people. And we've come from an era of Hollywood being the dominant narrative that everybody has known or seen. And here we have now the chance to redress that, and we have been. The SAFTAs have been redressing that balance by making people celebrate our talent and recognizing our stories. And all the specific different genres show that there is so much local talent and so much local desire for stories which talk to the South African people from all walks of life. And I think this representation and the acknowledgement of people who are trying to do the representation is what the SAFTAs is all about.
Well, ladies, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure that you have a very busy schedule ahead of you. And of course, to you at home, thank you so much for joining us. We will bring you the ins and outs of this wonderful, exciting ceremony that is the nominee ceremony of the 14th Annual South African Film and Television Awards. And of course, not forgetting that the 27th and the 28th of March 2020, Johannesburg will be the host city for this year's South African Film and Television Awards. And we'll be bringing you all of the action right here at the Mall of Africa live. And now crossing back to you in the studio.